Magandang gabi sa ating mga kapatid, kapuso at kapamilya. Welcome to the 7th episode of the Look Beyond the Classroom. And we're going to discuss about tips and tricks in using Google Calendar. So once again, we are the Look Beyond team. I am Sir Alvin Balaba, your certified educator, level 1 and 2. And of course, we will never miss introducing our team members from the Look Beyond team. Let's begin with our resident IT expert, none other than Sir Curvy. Sir Curvy, magandang gabi, sir.
Hi everyone, to our viewers, magandang gabi po, Sir Alvin. Magandang gabi.
Magandang gabi, sir. Kamusta, sir?
Sobrang saya and TGIF tayo ngayon and I'm looking forward for more learnings for tonight.
Favorite quote ko na talaga yung thank God it's Friday dahil nakikita tayo madalas sa team natin, sir. Now, another team member of ours, siguro masasabi ko siyang siya yung the rose among the thorns. None other than Miss June. Hi, Miss June.
Hello, good evening everyone. Good evening Sir Alvin, Sir Kirby. Rose ba talaga? Sunflower.
Blooming.
Ay, thank
Always
you.
blooming.
And tama, thank God it's Friday, no? Every other Friday talagang I look forward to it kasi marami akong natututunan sa sa inyo, no? So thank you Lord for the opportunity. Yun.
Thank you then, Miss June. And of course, last but definitely not the least, the captain of our ship, none other than the leader of the Look Beyond team, Sir Adrian Cruz. Good evening, Sir Adrian.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Hi, everyone. It's TGIF sa inyong lahat.
Hashtag TGIF na talaga, sir.
Hashtag TGIF. Tonight, we are going to talk about Google Calendar.
Yes,
I'm really happy to discuss this with you, with the team, and especially to our viewers who are really excited. I hope you are watching, you are excited to see the different tips and tricks that we are going to showcase for tonight. Ayun, good evening po sa inyong lahat. We are live for both YouTube and Facebook.
Mas marami nang pwedeng makakita sa atin, sir.
Yes.
Makikita na rin pala tayo sa Facebook.
Pwede nyo kami subaybayan or mapanood right now sa ating Look Beyond the Classroom YouTube channel and also in the Look Beyond Facebook page.
Yes.
Grabe, sir, naalala ko tong Google Calendar. When I was taking and doing my bootcamp sa level 1, dito talaga ako pinakakinabahan. Bakit medyo marami pa yung mga prompts para makapaggamit ng Google Calendar, pero ngayon mas pinadali and mas exciting na maririnig at makikita nila mamaya.
Sir Alvin, kailan ka nag-take ng level 1?
Ako, sir, medyo matagal-tagal na. Back in 2017. So for sure, kung kayo rin po ay gumamit ng Google Calendar noong 2017 pa, marami na po talagang nagbago. Marami na tayong, mas seamless na siya compared to before.
Tama. Well, inaalala ko din kailan ako huli nag-take. Yung first time ko nag-take ng level 1 exam because we have to retake it every 3 years, diba?
Yes,
I took it, I think around 2015 or early 2016. Isa sa mga pinakamahirap sa mga tools sa exam. Kung nagpaplano po kayo mag-take ng level 1 exam, si Google Calendar, medyo challenging siya. Pero etong mga nagdaang mga taon, medyo mas dumali siya kasi it became seamless and more user-friendly for everybody.
Agree. Nahirapan din ako sa Google Calendar when I took the GCE level 1 exam.
Common ground pala siya.
Common ground. Ayan. Si Sir Kirby, hindi nahihirapan si Sir Kirby sisiw sa kanya.
Kayo ba, Sir Kirby?
Ang na-experience ko na po kasi yung mga, yung sinabi ni Sir Alvin na mas pinadali na siya. Yun na yung na-experience ko. So at least, I mean, on the other side, I don't have to buy planners, di ba? I can just utilize the Google Calendar in any of my devices. So
Exactly. Save,
nakakatipid
ano?
tayo ng every
Helps.
December.
Yes, environment
Hindi mo na
friendly
kailangan
tayo.
mag-ipon ng stickers, Sir Kirby.
True.
Tama,
Yes.
tama. Malaking natitipid.
Sa sa Google Calendar, well, iniisip ko lang bago nagkaroon ng pandemic, I think si Google Calendar ang isa sa mga pinakamahirap sa exam ng level 1, pero one of the most neglected Google Workspace tool. That was before the pandemic, no? Kasi usually, siguro sa mga nakapakinig na sa akin before, when I talk about Google Calendar, si Google Calendar ay lagi lamang tinginan ng paydays. Diba? We only check our Google Calendars
Doon tayo na
kapag
yung
meron
excite.
tayong kailangan tingnan, especially if it's payday or
Birthday, mga
holidays,
ganun, holidays.
scheduling for our
Mm.
leaves, di ba? So, yun. Pero, nagbago ang lahat nung tayo'y nagkaroon ng, pandemic. So, calendar has been one of the most valuable player in the Google
Agree.
Workspace tool. Oo.
Very true.
Mm-mm. Yes. Tama.
So without further ado, Sir Adrian, no? Simulan na natin.
Sige, simulan na natin.
Yes, sir.
Oo, isa to sa one of the productivity tool ni Google wherein we can make ourselves more productive, we can maximize scheduling especially and the others to make our work and studies more organized. So ayan.
Thank you very much, Sir Adrian, for giving us a short description of what Google Calendar is. And just like what you said, this is very seamless and very helpful both in studying and, of course, in your professional life. So this to discuss to us the basic interface and how we can navigate through the user interface of the Google Calendar, we have Miss June to discuss this to us. Ready na kami, Miss June?
Yes. Okay, sige po. Ayan. So yun, once again, good evening everyone. And yun, so I'll be discussing the user interface. So let me share my screen. There you go. Okay, so for those who are watching, I'll just be discussing the user interface, and then these charming young boys will be young men. Sorry, will be discussing much more useful tips and tricks, and siguro out of the ordinary things that we can do with Google Calendar. Okay, so you can see on screen I have here a new tab, and well, since I'm already on a new tab and I have the Omnibox there open with me, if I want to go to Google Calendar, I just type in calendar.google.com. So that's one way. Another way is for me to go to the to the waffle icon, sorry. This here on the right, I hope you can see it. So I can just click on it and look for calendar there. And then that is supposed to lead me to calendar. Okay, so let's just do that. Okay, so now we are in the landing page, I guess, no, Sir Kirby? I guess that's the term for this. This is the landing page for Google Calendar. And what you can see here is a very clean, no, parang yung piniprint natin na calendar, no, when we're at work or for personal use. This is what we see. Google is, all of Google's apps, I believe, are are very simple in terms of its user face, just white background and all. So let me just show you from left to right, top to bottom, what's in here. So on the left side, you have the main menu icon. If you click on it, what happens is what you see on the left screen just disappears, and the main screen just expands. So you get a bigger view of your calendar. And then, of course, here is the name of the Google app. And then here is the button for today, and when you hover your mouse, it just shows you what the day and date today is. So it's Friday of June 4. And then you have here the left and right buttons where you can go from a previous month to the next month. This is because I'm on the monthly view. I'll show you later other views that we can have. And then of course the present month is June of 2021. And then if I go further to the right, I have the magnifying glass, which is actually the search button. If you click on it, you can search your anywhere that's in your whatever's in your calendar. You can do that. And then here is the support. Here's the settings menu, and then here is the view, so you can see from my calendar yung monthly view. If you want to see another view, let's say the daily view, you can also do that just by clicking on day right there. And then week, pwede rin. If you want to look at the weekly view, if you want to look at the monthly, nakita natin. If you want to look at the yearly view, you can also do that. If you want to look at the schedule view, know what the things that you have in your calendar or other calendars that you have with you. And then if you want a 4-day view, so starting from today and up to the next 3 days, that will be the view that will be given to you. But I prefer the monthly view. I don't know with you, boy, you meant, but I prefer the monthly view. And then we have the Google icon, and of course the Google account that I'm using. You can go from one Google Calendar to another just by clicking on it and choosing the account that you want. Okay, and let's now go to the left side. On the left side, you have the create button. Later, I will show you what that does. And then you have like a thumbnail view of the present month. And then you can also go from the previous month to the next month. And then here you have the option to search for people. If you know that you included or you share the calendar with one person that's in your contacts list, then you can do that. You can search for that person in here. And then here are the other calendars that I have. Since this is my personal account, I have automatically a personal calendar is generated for you. And then a birthdays calendar is also generated. But then if you see, if I hover my mouse in this calendar, I hope you can see it. Ayan, let me just make the view bigger. So this is the birthdays calendar, and you see there's an X button in here. That means I can just unsubscribe from this calendar. And I also have these 3 buttons. That just means there are more options for you if you click on that icon. So there, you can actually display this calendar only. You can hide it from your list of calendars. And then you can go to your settings. Now, later we will go to that, or maybe Sir Alvin or Sir Kirby can do that, or Sir Adian. And then if you also want to change the color, this is where you do that. If the color you want is not in here, you can always just add a custom color. Just be ready with the hex code. Okay, and then here I have all other calendars that I have subscribed to. Okay, so that's on the left side. All right, what else? So let me just, and if you see, if I uncheck everything, then nothing will appear here on my main calendar. But if I check everything, that means all of the events particular to the calendars that I'm checking will be showed, and they will be color coded. Okay, and then here, June 9 will be, as you can see, my mom's 82nd birthday. Advance happy birthday, Ma. Okay, and then also the tasks that you have, and then here other calendars. What does this button do? If you want to add other calendars that you already have with you, as you can see, I have a lot. I can just click on this, the plus sign, and then I could either subscribe to a calendar. I believe Sir Alvin will be discussing more about this. And then I can create a new calendar. I can browse calendars of interest, or I can get a calendar from, if I know the URL, or I can import. But let me just show you how to quickly create a new calendar. So I just choose create new calendar, and it's very easy. So I just name it, let's say sample Google Calendar. And then you can just type in a very brief description for this. You can choose a time zone. As of now, of course, I'm using the Philippine Standard Time, but you can use another time zone that you want. Again, this will be discussed later on. And then for now, I am the owner. And then when I'm done with everything, I just click on Create Calendar. And then this brand new calendar will now be found on the left side of my other calendars. Okay, so here, the sample Google Calendar. So that's for the terms on the things on the left side. And then on the right side, let me just make it smaller. On the right side, this will be discussed by Sir Alvin, right, Sir Alvin? And then let me just show you the things that you can create with Google Calendar. So let me just click on the plus button there. So I can actually, since I'm using just my personal account, there are only three things that I can create: an event, a task, or a reminder. Okay. So let me say I want to create an event. So I can go ahead and click that. And then I can add a title, let's say meeting with Look Beyond Team. Okay. And then, of course, I can schedule when the meeting will be and all. But I find this to be a really small view. So I always make it a practice to get the bigger view of this window. So I just click on more options right away, because then that will give me a more detailed view of the things that I need to calibrate for the event that I have created. And then I will see that you can see that the dates are there and the time, so I can just change the date. Maybe so it's already June, so let's say June 11 for next week. And then I can set the time, let's say 5 p.m. up to 6 p.m. and that's on the same day. And then the time zone, of course, is the Philippine time zone. And then here you can actually choose uh, the frequency of the event that you have created. So let's say it's just a one-time thing. It's a one-time event, and you have no plans of repeating the event again. Then you can just choose doesn't repeat. If it's something that happens every day, then you click on daily. If it's something that happens weekly on a Friday, then you can click here, or monthly or annually every weekday, or you can even customize. So you get the idea. This is where you customize the frequency of the event that you have created. Okay, and then here we will look at the event details. So if you want this meeting to be a virtual meeting, then you can just click here, add Google Meet video conferencing, and then automatically a Meet link is generated. Okay, and then you can then distribute this to the participants of your event by clicking here. If you want to just give them the link via, let's say, chat or whatever, you can also email, of course. But this is you can copy the Meet link from here by clicking on this button. And then you can even add a location. And then here, this is very important, the notification. Okay, so you can also give notifications. Normally, I give notifications an hour before the meeting and like 5 minutes before the meeting. So let me just change this. So if I want it to be hour, then I can just change the time to be in hours. So I can just choose either minutes, hours, days, or weeks. So I want hours. And then I can just choose or just type in 1 hour. And then let's say I'm not content with just one notification. I can always just add another notification. And then let's say I want this to be like 5 minutes, 5 minutes before the time, just to make sure that the participants will not forget about their event. Okay, then when you're satisfied with the notifications, of course, you can add more notifications as you please. And then this calendar event will be under my personal calendar. But if you don't
Nawala po si Miss June.
Okay, so,
Or sa akin lang, no? Or sa atin,
yes,
okay.
sir. So, sa
Nawala
pinapakita
si
niyo
Miss.
din kanina, sir, yung mga basic interface talaga. So, pinapakita niyo na how you can set an event. So, kung
Tama.
makikita niyo, medyo maraming nilalagay, but at the end of the day, those are really important information because through that, mas nagiging specific yung event and activity na ginagawa natin, no, sir. Siguro yung napansin nating kaibahan niya from the earlier versions ni Google Calendar, hindi siya yung mismong dun sa calendar ko maglalagay, no, sir. Parang dati, kailangan pa dun ka sa parang ipinapakita sa more options na pinakita ni Miss June kanina.
Tama. May mga naging changes na rin over the years. Sa mga nanonood po, kung nakita or napanood ninyo yung discussion ni Miss June, yun pa lang po ay basic, no? So, habang lumalalim po ang gabi, lalalim din yung discussion natin sa Google Calendar. Right now, siguro wala pa si Miss June. Wait. She's back here. Welcome back, Miss June.
Sorry. Ay, hindi ko napansin na wala ako. Saan ako nawala?
Ayan. Siguro mga
Sorry.
Miss June, mga 1 minute pa
Oh
lang.
my. Okay. All right. Sige. So let me just again share my screen. Sorry everyone.
Okay, Miss June.
Only in the Philippines.
Live.
May ganun pa. Sorry. Okay. So let me just continue. I'll just make this fast. So dito na tayo. Was I able to discuss notifications, guys?
Not yet,
Na-discuss
Miss.
ko. Not yet. Okay. So let me go back. So let's say this is the event that I've created. This is a meeting with Look Beyond team, and then this is the time, and then I just this is an event that will not be repeating, so I just choose doesn't repeat. But then again, you can always just choose daily, weekly, etc. You get the idea, and then you can even customize. And then I clicked on this a while ago when I got cut off. Join with Google Meet. So I want this meeting to be a virtual meeting. So Meet link is automatically generated. And then I just added notifications by just toggling this. So I can choose notifications by minutes, hours, days, or weeks. So again, it's a personal preference. So I just gave a notification before, an hour before the meeting. And then I added another notification 5 minutes before the meeting. And then if I want just one more, I can do that. Let's say 1 minute before the meeting. Then I can do that. And then here, this just means that this event will be stored in my personal calendar. But then if you click on the drop down arrow, you can actually choose the calendar where you want this event to be in. Okay. And then here, of course, is the color. And then here, this will be discussed um, by my teammates later on. And then here is where you can add the description to your event. And then you can also attach a file or the agenda or whatever. And then you can just, whatever else, you can even attach a link to whatever you want attached to your event. And then on the right side, this is where you can add your guests. So we add guests via email. So if you know the email of the people you will be me having a meeting with, then this is where you will be inputting those. So let me just say, Sir Adrian. Okay, and then these options, invite others and see guest list, are checked by default. So again, it's up to you if you want your participants to be able to invite others or to be able to see the guest list, then you can just leave these checked. If you want your participants to be able to modify the event, then you can just check this or uncheck as you want. Okay, and then when everything else is satisfactory, then you can just click on save. And then you will be asked by Google if you would like to send invitation emails to Google Calendar guests. And of course, yes, we want that. We want them to be notified via email. Then we just click on send. And as you can see, this is supposed to, if I go to my June calendar, you will see that the event that I've created is now in here. No 5 p.m. meeting with Look Beyond team. Okay, so that's it. That's it for me. Just the basics of Google Calendar. Okay, turning it over to you guys.
Thank you very much, Miss June. Now, so teachers, now that we are all aware how we can utilize the different icons, alam na natin kung saan malolocate yung iba't ibang mga function keys. Now, we're going to explore more on the additional features na siguro yung iba sa atin hindi madalas nagagamit, or maybe some of us are not aware that these are available in our Google Calendar. So, mas powerful po talaga siya compared to your usual planner or printed calendars. I begin, Sir Adrian. Let me share my screen. So first, I will be discussing to you, our dear viewers, yung yan, yung nabanggit ni Miss June kanina na isang bahagi ng ating Google Calendar. So Miss June was able to discuss already how you can go into this landing page. So let me explore further yung ating gear icon na nandito sa may upper right side katabi nung viewing option natin na month on the left side. So click natin si settings icon. Si gear icon, I'm sorry. And then we'll proceed with the settings. Now, let me begin with adding time zones. Now, this is very helpful. I'm sorry. If you are working, for example, ng other time zone time, o yung mga nagtatrabaho na offshore yung kanilang ginagamit na oras sa paggawa ng activities, or maybe if you are collaborating with other people coming from other countries, this will be very helpful. Or if you even have relatives na nasa ibang bansa, makakatulong din po ito sa inyo. So let's begin with adding a time zone. So meron tayong primary time zone na, dear viewers, na automatic ang nakalagay sa kanya is the GMT 8:00 PST or the Philippine Standard Time. So pwede po natin gamitin or magdagdag pa ng secondary time zone so that nakukompare natin kung anong oras na ba doon sa pipiliin nating country, sa pipiliin nating time zone. So let me begin with, let's say for example, adding a time zone. So kung nakikita niyo po yung default, hindi nakatick si display secondary time zone. So let's check this first. And then tsaka pa lang tayo magbibigay ng option to add the secondary time zone. Let's say for example, you want to add the secondary time zone from a friend in, let's say, in the US. Say sabihin natin, search lang po tayo. Ayan, let's say for example, New York. And then, ayan, so meron na po tayong dalawang time zone na i-display sa ating calendar. So we have the Philippine Standard Time and the New York Time. Let's add a label. Let's say for example, this is for Philippines, and this is for NS. Okay. So no need to click any saving option. So balik na lang po tayo dun sa ating calendar. And then you will see here on the makikita natin siya supposedly dito sa left side. Ako hindi ko siya maipakita ngayon. Wait. It's supposed to be there.
Sir, pag siguro daily view.
Sige, Miss, try natin. Ayun. Thank you, Miss June.
You're welcome, sir.
Naka-review pala ako kanina. So, ayan. Kung pag tinignan po natin siya on a daily view, ayan, makikita nyo na on the left side of the calendar na meron na tayong options to see the time zones from New York and Philippines simultaneously. So makikita nyo po na meron talaga tayong 12-hour difference So if it's 11 a.m. in the Philippines, and in the US, it's, and in the US, it's same time, but ayan, evening time sila. So 8 a.m., 8 p.m. Ayan. Thank you, Miss June, ulit. Ayan. So, tingnan naman po natin si adding the world clock. Now, this will be very helpful, again, with the same situations na nabanggit po natin kanina. If you are working on an international or a different time zone, or if you're working or collaborating with other people, this will be very helpful as well. So, i-click lang po ulit natin itong si world clock. And then, let's click add time zone. So, the initial time zone will be for the Philippine Standard Time. Tapos, pipili na lang po tayo ng iba. Let's say, for example, we're working with a friend from Seoul, South Korea. Okay, pwede pa rin po tayo magdagdag. And then, another friend from, let's say, Sydney, Australia. And then, another person from, i-click nyo lang po itong drop-down icon na nasa bandang right side. Say, for example, we're working with a friend in, let's say, what's a familiar place? Sabihin natin, Malaysia time. Yan. And then, let's go back to our calendar. Yan. So, kung makikita nyo po, dito sa ating left side panel, nakalagay na yung clock o yung oras ng mga specific countries na inilagay po natin. So you will see here that in South Korea, if in our time it's 8:35, in South Korea it's 9:35, and in Sydney it's 10:35, in Kuching time it's 8:35. So you can adjust now your schedules, your events, your activities that you will try to make for your colleagues or for your profession. Also, kung gusto niyo naman pong tanggalin itong mga ito, pwede naman po nating i-uncheck lang itong show world clock, and then mawawala na siya dito sa ating left side panel. Now, if you want to delete a specific time zone, alisin nyo lang po, or a specific world clock or time zone nga, alisin nyo lang po ulit. Let's click this first, and then just click remove time zone with the X. And then if we go back, so makikita natin yung natitira na lang. So that's with adding the time zones and world clock. Now, ito na banggit din ni Ms. June kanina, what if you would like to add a calendar by subscribing? When we subscribe to a calendar, dear viewers, this means we are trying to access the events, the activities that are recorded in someone else's calendar. Google Calendar pa rin naman po yung magiging basis. Let's say, for example, I want to subscribe to Sir Adrian's calendar. So, kung makikita nyo po, since maybe our calendars have very sensitive information or very, very, let's say, yung mga information na gusto nating, we are not willing to share to others. That's why, ang initial na itatanong sa inyo ni Google Calendar is for you to request access. Now, it is up to the account or the calendar you would like to subscribe if they will allow you to have access over their calendar events and calendar activities. So that's what you will do first. So you can add here a message. So say, for example, good evening, Sir Adrian. I would like to access your calendar for the schedule of trainings, for example, and then request access. Now, once the original owner of the calendar allows you to have access over his calendar, saka lang po lalabas dito yan sa inyong other calendars option na nandito sa baba. Now, aside from the gear icon na ginagamit natin dito sa may patang upper right side, you can also click the plus sign here. Yan. So lalabas din po dito yung options for you to subscribe to specific calendar, ginawa po natin kanina. And this one, Ms. June was able to tell you how to create a new calendar And ito naman po, explore natin si browse calendars of interest. Now, what's good with this is that you can personalize the events and activities that are viewed in your Google Calendar. So, and you can have information coming from your contacts. Let's say, for example, their birthdays and others. Regional holidays. Kapag kinlik po natin itong drop-down icon, you're free to choose what holidays according to country nga ang nakalagay po dito eh. So if you have a relative that's working abroad or a colleague that's working abroad, pwede nyo pong i-click yun so that you are notified that in their country it's a holiday. Say for example in Australia, i-click lang po natin. So after clicking the country, the holidays in that country, may makikita po kayong preview option. And then here on the right side, there's a drop-down icon whether you would like to see public holidays or only or also other holidays. Let's click the preview icon. Ayan. So kung makikita nyo po, for June, ayan, nakalagay na it's the Queen's birthday. So, ayan, Bounty, Queen's birthday on June 7th and on June 14th. So, ayan. So, makikita nyo po na in their country, they have those, so you may not proceed with any meeting or any other activities for that day. Okay. Aside from the regional holidays available, ito, pwede nyo rin pong ilagay na sa inyong calendar yung mga sports calendar. Let's say, for example, you're following a specific sport. Let's say basketball. Pag click nyo po sa drop-down icon, you will see here options, whether what specific league of basketball game you would like to subscribe to. Let's say, for example, let's have the PBA. I'm not sure if PBA has games over this season. And then, eto, basta pag click nyo si PBA, tapos drop-down icon ulit, makikita nyo yung mga teams na gusto ninyong subaybayan ng games nila. You have their Alaska and hanggang TNT, katropa. Let's say, for example, let's have Barangay San Miguel. But I'm not sure if they have games during this season. Parang wala po. Maybe they're still katatapos lang ata ng league last a few months ago or a few weeks ago. So, sa ganyan po ang gagawin ninyo kapag gusto ninyo mag-subscribe to a specific sport. So the ones that we have currently are for American football, baseball, basketball, cricket, hockey, and rugby. Now, you can also see or have your calendars viewable with the phases of the moon. Let's say, preview po tayo. Ayan. So makikita nyo po dito na viewable na yung phases ng moons on the specific dates. Maybe if you want to use this for navigation, stuff like that, or for research purposes ng mga estudyante, pwede nyo rin pong gamitin ito. Okay, let's go back. Balik lang po tayo. Uncheck lang po natin ito. Let's go back. And then additional lang po, for example, you would like to have or change your calendar. Let's say, for example, you're following lunar calendar or a specific type of calendar na gusto nyo pong gamitin, pwede nyo rin po siyang i-edit dito. Now, you just need to go again to your gear icon here in the general settings. Punta po kayo dun sa view options. Nandito po siya sa left side panel natin. Let's click the view options. And then here, makikita nyo po yung option dito na add an alternative calendar. So as of the moment, ang default, wala po tayong alternative calendar. But if you want to follow a specific type of calendar, we have the following options. We have here the Chinese simplified, traditional, Hebrew, Hijri, and Indian, Korean, and Persian. Let's say, for example, let's click Korean. So you will see here a notification below that says, applying this change requires a reload. So i-reload lang po natin. So it will take a while. And then after reloading, you go back to your calendar. And then, ayan po, makikita nyo na yung difference ng date. So, yung nakalagay sa parenthesis, yun yung calendar na naka-Korean. So, for example, kung sa atin ay June 4 na, sa kanila ay parang May 24 pa lang ata since they are also following a lunar calendar din. So, medyo late sila ng a few days from us. So, ayan. So, makikita nyo rin po dito sa ilalim ng ating month and year yung kanilang yung mga Korean characters. I'm not sure what specifically that is, but maybe yeah, it's with regards to their calendar, Korean calendar. Try lang natin ulit ng isa pa. Let's try to use a Chinese calendar. Say for those, yung iba na Chinese, ay sorry, hindi ko na-reload. Madali ako. Ayan, although it's already here also. Ayan, naka-Chinese characters na yung mga dates natin. Maybe for some other teachers, kung kayo ay nagtatrabaho sa mga Chinese schools, this will be able to help you. Lalo na kung nakasubscribe sa calendar ninyo yung inyong mga parents. Balik lang po tayo para ibalik natin sa dati. Okay. Listen ko lang po yun. View options. And then, i-none lang po natin. Para hindi baka malito kayo later on kapag gusto nyo ibalik siya sa dati. I-none nyo lang po, teachers. And then, ayan. We're back to our normal calendar. Now, nabanggit ni Ms. June kanina that on the right side panel, we have additional Google tools. So we have here the Keep, the Task, the Google Maps, and add-ons. Now, with regards to add-ons, Sir Adrian will discuss this to you later on. Tingnan lang po natin yung integration ni Keep. So we all know that Google Keep is for note-taking. So the good thing about this integration is that you can create your notes here directly in your Google Calendar. There's no need for you to open a new tab and create your notes. So it's already available here. Let's say, for example, meeting with boss. Bring, my note would be, bring necessary materials. Then just click done, and then my note is already here. Now, if I go and open my Google Keep in a new tab, or in another device, that note will be visible, so as you can see here. Now, the difference with Keep, kung gusto nyo pong maglagay ng reminders, you cannot do this here. Although, yeah, you need to open a new tab to add reminders, and then in here, dito nyo po pwedeng ilagay yung reminder ninyo. Now, if you want the integration na yung note mo ay may time and may date, much better na gamitin nyo po si Google Task. That's the other tool that we have here. Now, for Google Task, mas maganda yung integration nila compared kay Keep. Kasi kay Keep, makakapag-note-taking ka lang talaga. But for Task, if you want to add additional task, ayan, makikita nyo po, may integration tayo dito ng date and time. Let's say, for example, our task will be training for GCE L1. So let's add details. This is for National High School, for example. Then you can add specific date and then time, say 8 o'clock. And then you can even add notifications just like yung nabanggit ni Ms. June kanina. And for what specific day and time yung gustong magkaroon ng notification. And then just, halimbawa po, ito. And then just click OK after the necessary information. Yan. So makikita nyo, nakalagay na po yan sa aking task. Now, here on the left side of your calendar, may makikita na kayong calendar for task. Let's check this para mag-appear yung mga task na nilagay ninyo sa inyong Google Calendar o sa inyong Google Task in your Google Calendar. So ayan, naka-view na po siya. Na on June 8, there's a training for GCE Level 1. So, ayan. If, for example, I'm done with this training is already done, I can just click Mark Completed. And then, in my Google Task tab, mawawala na siya doon. it will be here in my completed task. So, ang galing ng seamless integration ni Google Task kay Google Calendar. Mas powerful kumpara kay Google Keep, although you can use both, pero kung gusto niyo ng may functionality ng date and time, much better to use the task. Now, the last one would be the Maps integration in your Google Calendar. Now, if we remember back then before bago magkaroon ng pandemic, kapag meron tayong mga live training, seminars, or activities, it's important na mahanap natin yung mga specific locations kung saan yung mga trainings na yun. Now, if you have, let's say, for example, activities and tasks that would require you to go to specific places, pwede nyo rin siyang ilagay kay Google Calendar. How can we do this? Now, in here, balik ko lang po ulit sa right side panel, makikita nyo yung maps icon. Let's click on that, and then let's say, for example, you're tasked to go to the National Museum. And click nyo lang po si National Museum, and then the additional details for this place will be displayed here. So you have your options to open this in your map, see place details, like this one. Yan. And then, let's go back, for example. Pwede nyo pong kunin, i-save siya sa inyong Google Maps from your Google Calendar, get the address, and then saan nyo po yan pwedeng gamitin. Kung kanina napansin nyo sa pinakita rin ni Miss June, and may kita po natin doon yung adding a location. Now, since I copied the exact address from Google Maps, pwede ko na siyang i-paste dito. There. Now, my attendees or the people who will attend this activity na in-schedule natin sa Google Calendar nito would know kung saan specifically mangyayaring event. Now, they can use their Gmaps to locate through GPS yung lugar na pangyayarihan ng ating event. So, it's very, very powerful na, let's say, for example, concert for the arts. Yeah. Then, let's say, find time, lagay lang tayo ng, say, for example, 8 p.m. Then just click save. Ayan. So, kung titingnan po natin yung event natin, X lang po natin siya. Ayan, nakalagay na yung address. And then, if I click this, gagana din po ito sa mga mobile phones ninyo. Kapag kinlik nyo yung event na yon, tapos kinlik nyo yung address, automatic lalabas yung GPS. So, you can use that for directions para hindi kayo maligaw para mahanap yung lugar. So, you can also copy the link kung gusto nyo siyang i-send via email or other platforms para magamit nila. Now, you can also open a new tab here to open the specific map. Yan. So, those are the additional features. Wait lang, hintayin lang po natin ito mag-load. Ayan, so, mag-load na siya dito on where I can find the specific place. I will not dive more into this Google Maps. Maybe we can discuss that in the future. So, ayun po, teachers. Those are additional ways you can use Google Calendar to make it to be more productive in your field of work or in your tasks and activities as students or professionals.
Thank you, Sir Alvin.
Yes, sir.
Ang dami, no? Ang daming pwedeng kalikutin sa ating
pasensya na, sir.
Di, okay lang, sir. Yun.
Nakakatuwa.
Oo. Nakakatuwa. Alam kasi natin usually is yung basics, no? Checking the events, creating events. Minsan nga yung creating calendar, hindi pa rin natin alam. Pero yun yung mga, actually we consider that basics. Yung kay Miss June, yun yung mga basics. Kay Sir Alvin naman, medyo moderately, moderate ang difficulty. Kay Sir Kirby naman would be more on more tips or more configurations na pwede nyo pang gawin with your Google Calendar. So,
yes, sir.
Take it away, Sir Kirby.
Thank you for that. Grabe, sobrang ang dami nating natutunan tonight. It's only 8:53 p.m. pero it's like giving us a high-tech planner or calendar that we can utilize regardless kung ano yung gadgets na available sa atin. Starting from Miss June, grabe, di ba? Parang if I plan on starting to transition from my notebook to digital calendar, yung mga tinuro ni Miss June, very essential to begin with. Right? Regardless of age, bata man or matanda, sobrang daling masundan. And as well as with Sir Alvin, I would like to highlight yung para sa mga dads dyan or yung mga sports lover, di ba? They can easily monitor, and as well as yung mga traveler, di ba? You don't have to just say it to people na, oh, dito tayo mag-meet, or we can just set our place here. But with the integration of Google Maps, sobrang laki ng possibility to make it interactive, and as well as mas maging detailed and visual for everybody. So for my for my sharing tonight, there are a lot like what Sir Adrian mentioned that we can still use or do with Google Calendar. So allow me to share my screen now. Here we go. Yeah. So let's begin with the basics muna. Kasi we are enlightened with the technicalities, with the basics. So let's try, for example, some of us are a little artsy. We want visuals or additional pictures or images in our calendar. So in my case, here's my calendar. Then we have my different calendars here. We have my name, such as birthdays, and demo calendar. For example, my calendar, may curvy kamagay, gusto ko siyang lagyan ng emojis. So, just like in our Google site previously, we can utilize going on website getemoji.com. So, in my case, dito ako nagpupunta to look for emojis. So, for example, I would like to add a graphical icon using the calendar. So, I will just copy the icon na napili ko or emoji. Control C. If you're using a PC, go back to your calendar. Then, on the exact or on your specific calendar, click the options or the fishbowl icon. Then, go to settings and sharing. Yan. Then, we have the option to add the emojis whether sa end or sa beginning. So, in my case, I will just put it in the beginning. Then, paste. Okay, so if we go back, automatic na nandun na siya. So let's do that with my demo calendar. Again, click the fishbowl icon or the more option, go to settings and sharing. Then let's look for another emoji. For example, here. Kasi nga demo lang siya yung mga note. Copy it. Go back to the calendar. Pwede natin siyang ilagay dito din sa dulo if we want a different position. Then, auto-save naman siya. We'll just click the back icon and that's it. So, if you want your calendars to be a little visual or a little artsy, you can do that here with Google Calendar. Alright? Next, for example, we're the type of person that gusto natin nare-remind tayo, not only for notifications. Hindi enough sa atin yung notifications. Sometimes, mas nag-work sa atin kapag nakaka-receive tayo ng emails for reminders regarding specific agendas to be more particular. So, for example, for teachers, di ba? We all know, full day tayo nagtatrabaho. So, at least we get to remind ourselves na, for example, 6 p.m. pahinga na. So, let's do that here. Let's create an event. So, let's name it Take a Rest. Or, para mas personal, teacher, take a rest. Yan. Para medyo personal. So, for event, yan, may option tayo dyan if we will make it an event or task. So, let's choose a time on a certain day. So, for example, gusto kong ma-remind ako every 6 p.m. Kasi 7 a.m. pa lang nag-work na ako. Diba? So, let's choose 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Then, kailan ko gustong ma-remind ako nito palagi? So, I will choose all day. Yan. Then, let's go to more options. So, for example, we have this reminder that teacher, you the teacher, take a rest. Let's have a little details of agenda. For example, refill your water, um, talk to your parents, di ba? Minsan sa sobrang busy natin, we forgot to reach out to them, lalo kapag Friday night. So for example, yan yung mga gusto natin sanang gawin. And we want us to be reminded on this activity or agenda. So let's see. Ayun. Sorry. For this one, if we want all day to be reminded, we will just click all day. But in my case, kaya nga nang sinabi ko kanina, gusto ko lang ma-remind ako every 6 p.m. Let's go back to 6 p.m. Yeah. So at least 1 hour to rest or to remind ourselves to take a rest. Then, if you want to share or to add guests, which is no need naman, we'll just have to click save. Okay, so basically nandito siya, but it should be a reminder or repeating reminder. So halimbawa, nalimutan natin siya, we can still edit like what Ms. June mentioned earlier. Click the pencil icon to edit. Then it should be repeating daily. We should always, I mean, since reminder nga siya, di ba, we would like to keep it as a daily reminder. Okay? So let's click save. So now, ang intention natin, we would like this Google Calendar application to remind us not only with the notification, but even on emails. Magsisend siya, mag-remind siya through email. So how do we do that? We click on the gear icon, the settings menu. Then we click settings. Then let's look for the calendar. And on that case, ang calendar na ginamit ko was Curvy Kamagay. Then we look for other event notifications. Yan. So we scroll down, we look for other notifications, then we will see here the daily agenda. So if you can notice, I have the option kung saan ako i-remind. The only option here is through email. So if I choose the email option here, what will happen is every 6 p.m. I will be reminded to that specific agenda. So for example, I will be reminded to refill my water and to talk to my parents. Okay, so right now, since it's already 9 p.m., we will receive another reminder tomorrow at 6 p.m. for that email. Okay, so that's another tip. That's another way you can remind yourself if notification doesn't work. Mas naalala nyo or mas nare-remind kayo if you are receiving emails. Okay? Now, another thing to share is, thanks to Miss June, the keyboard shortcuts, right? For example, na on the spot kayo, sabi magkakaroon daw ng outing. Yan, kasi magbabakasyon yung mga public school teachers. Manalig tayo na merong bakasyon. So, for example, we have, ang sabi, August 1. For example, yun daw yung magiging outing. Pero syempre tayo as teachers, hindi, halimbawa, ito yung gamit natin. We would like to ensure na makakasama ba tayo talaga. So, for example, we're using our computers. We just type G on our keyboard as a shortcut. May lalabas na go-to date dyan. Then we'll just type August 1. And we'll just click go. Alalaman na natin na it's a Sunday. It's on a Sunday. Okay? So basically, masasabi natin na, Sunday naman, I can join the vacation. Okay? So another shortcut that we can do with our keyboards using Google Calendar is, for example, gusto na natin makita yung specific, as much as we search on our calendar, ang dami na nating sinerch kung saan sang date na tayo napunta. Ang shortcut for us to simply go to the current date or current day is to press letter T in your keyboards. Yan. So automatically, it will return to the current date. And specifically, kung naka-select yung week view natin, maipapakita na it's currently 9 p.m. on our calendar. Okay? So that's one of the shortcuts. Thanks to Miss June for sharing this to us. And now, isa sa mga pinakamagandang feature ng Google Calendar that most likely public school teachers can utilize lalo't end na ng third quarter or even ng mga senior high school students that we can do kasi defense season na nila, ng mga research nila, ng mga presentation nila, we can do calendar appointment. What else can we do with calendar appointment? For example, sa mga junior high school, di ba, grade 10, grade 9, 8, and 7, in case there are parents na interested na makipag-meet sa inyo online, they can just book an appointment. So how do we do that? So in this case, it only works with accounts ng mga school na may sariling domain. So for example, let me switch to my DepEd email. So here's my DepEd email. Obviously, we have the DepEd icon here sa mga public school teachers dyan. And dun sa mga school na that they have their own domain, even if you're not a public school. So you can use that. Then we can start on clicking create event. Yan. So gaya ng pinakita ni Miss John kanina, ang lumalabas lang sa regular account is event and task rather, event and task. But if you are using your company email or your organization email, there are another option for appointment slots. So for example, we would like to use this for our demo today topic presentation. Again, we click on appointment slots. Then we choose kung kailan. So para lang mas ma-visualize natin, I will choose today's schedule, June 4. Then I will do 9 p.m. to 12. Para lang ma-visualize natin later. Then slots with duration. Ano tong time na to? This is the time duration that we will set for every appointment. For example, I will book for Sir Adrian's 9:30 to 10 p.m. That's 30 minutes. We can adjust that into 15 minutes, 20, depends on how much time you can allot for each presentation. So in our case, we will just set it on 30 minutes. So I'll just click save, or if you want to invite people, more options, add guest on that. So for this one, I'll just click save. Yan. So it's gonna show up in our calendar. What do we do next? We click on it. Then we click go to appointment page for this calendar. Yeah. It will show up this interface where it allows student to book for certain time that they can present their topic, or for example, yung parent ay gusto makipag one-on-one for consultation of grades. This is how it looks like. So what do we do next? We copy the link above here. And for example, we send it to our students. So I will transfer back to my, for example, dummy account for my student. So I'll go here. I'll paste the link na binigay ni teacher. So dito nakikita ko yung calendar ni teacher. So si teacher nag-set siya ng reminder ng teacher take a risk. So careful lang tayo dyan. Careful tayo sa pag-share ng ating mga calendars kasi it really show up to the student. But if it's clean naman, hindi naman na nila yan makikita. Okay? So going back, for example, a certain student would like to book a topic. They would like to book a specific time to present their topic. So itong group na to medyo competitive. Ayaw nilang mauuna kasi ayaw nilang mag-set ng standard. They will choose the 10 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. time. So they will just click it. Lalabas tong book an appointment. Then for the description, we can just inform them, state your group. For example, this is group 3. Ano yung topic na ipe-present nila? For example, computer networks. Then they will just click save. Yan. So basically, once they book an appointment, mawawala na yung specific time na yon. So everybody who will open this link, ganito na yung makikita kasi may nakabook na for 10:30 to 10 to 10:30. Tama? Yes. So if we transfer back again, if we want to look sa perspective ni teacher, let's go back to the calendar ni teacher. Refresh lang. So ganito siya, but if we go back to the calendar, yan. So ito yung calendar ni teacher, right? Google Calendar ni teacher. Makikita na natin na may certain tab na dito for a specific schedule. Para mas ma-appreciate natin siya, we change into day view. Yan. Yan. So if we go on that, makikita natin may nag-book ng 10 p.m. schedule. We can click that. Then, lalabas dito yung meet link with that specific group. So makikita na natin, gusto pala ng group 3 who will discuss computer networks to present at 10 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. Let's see another interface. For example, si student, di ba nag-book na siya ng schedule, automatically, when they go to their meet.google.com, automatically, nakasync na siya sa meet nila that they have a presentation or a topic presentation schedule at 10 p.m. Okay? Actually, I would like to share this to Sir Adrian, to Sir Alvin, and to Miss June para mas ma-appreciate na ating viewers. I will send po the links sa inyo. Then if you can book a schedule. So probably, let's say, Sir Adrian will be group 1, Sir Alvin is group 2, and Miss June is group 4. Yan. Send ko po sa inyo yung calendar. Here. Yan po. So, para lang ma-appreciate natin lalo, what if there are a lot of, or there are different students na mag-view or mag-book ng kanilang topic presentation? Sana pala kanina pa ako nag-send, so they can choose. But thank you po. Sige. Alright. So for this one, while waiting for the other students, for example, yung mga dummy students natin, sila sir, makikita na ni teacher dito kung sino na real-time this is real-time. The teacher can already view or sino na yung mga nakapag-view, nakapag-book for their topic presentation. What else can we do? Uso sa public school din yung reading of forms. Yan. So we can book an appointment with the readers. For example, may teacher na magaling talagang mag-read, mabilis magbilang ng mabilis magbanggit ng grades, ng names. We can book an appointment for them. Can we borrow you? Mga ganyang instances. Yan. So if we can see, di ba, real-time lumalabas yung updates. For example, for Sir Alvin, which is Group 1, Sir Adrian is Group 2, and Miss June is Group 4. So lumalabas na siya dito. And I am sure if Sir Alvin, if Sir Adrian, and Miss June can confirm, kung if they go to Google Meet, lumabas po yung link at yung schedule po ninyo. Yeah, refresh lang natin to para malaman natin na there are only 2 slots available. Miss June, Sir Alvin, Sir Adrian, lumabas po?
Yes, sir.
Ayun. Yan. So, this is very helpful for those kind of scenarios, lalo kung very particular kayo sa schedule ninyo, and for always highlighting the importance of having a one-on-one moment, diba? Lalo kung if we are talking with parents, very helpful ang pag-book ng appointment. So I think I already covered all of some of the helpful tips and tricks, most especially on the addition of emojis, shortcut keys, daily agenda, and calendar appointment. So I'll bring back the floor to Sir Adrian for his additional tips. Sir Adrian.
Thank you, Sir Kirby. So ako na. So tinatry kong masilip ko ano yung hindi nyo na-present. So para I hope I could deliver ang gagaling ng ating mga first 3 speakers. So I hope I could give justice to Google Calendar. So first one, easy trick for everybody. If nagmamadali tayo, we can, I have to share my screen first. Ayan. So I'll open a new tab. Now, just in case na nagmamadali tayo, we want to create a quick calendar sabi ni Miss June kanina, we can quickly create a Google Calendar or access it by typing calendar.google.com. Now, sa mas mabilis pa na paraan, you can just quickly type in cal.new to create a new calendar event. So, you can just remember cal, shortcut for calendar. So, medyo naglo-load lang po ng onte. So, it's cal.new. So, it will redirect you to a new calendar event. So, that's one. So, again, that's cal.new. Now, exit ko muna ito, going back to the homepage of Google Calendar. As you can see, here, sa ating right panel ng ating screen, kanina nabanggit ni Sir Alvin, we have Google Keep that we can utilize. The other one is Google Tasks. Now, if you can see, sa third icon sa ating right panel, we have here the Google Maps. Now, para saan po ito? So, if you open Google Maps, it will open a side panel of your map. So, your actual location. So, you can just search here. So, for example, we are located in Parañaque. So, kita po ninyo, no? But I'll try to search for others. So, what you can utilize here is, for example, you try to type in SMBF Homes, just in case. Okay, for example, SMBF Homes. So what you can do here is, when you click specific location, you can get the link of each location, and then you can copy it specifically to your calendar event. So very useful ito, at laging ginagamit ito, especially when we have a face-to-face meeting. It is really helpful for your colleague or kung sino man yung in-invite ninyo or ka-meet ninyo to be able to quickly locate your location. So that's one easy, or kumaga, a very handy tool for Google Calendar, or to pair it up with Google Calendar. So that's Google Maps. Now, ano pang meron sa baba niyan? So we have here a plus icon. Please disregard the two icons here. Now, these are the other icons that will be visible for you if you download a third-party application. Now, if familiar po tayo, if you're using a Chrome browser, you can download third-party applications, or what we call extensions, in the Chrome Web Store or in the Google Workspace Marketplace. Now, what's good about each Google application, specifically talking about Google Calendar, we have here a plus icon, which is a shortcut to the download store. So when we click Get Add-ons, ang mangyayari po dito is that it will open up different tools or different add-ons to choose from to pair it up with your Google Calendar that's foreign or that's not innate with the Google Workspace tool. So ang ibig sabihin dito ay, with other tools that you might be using, it can easily be integrated with Google Calendar. For example, maliban sa Google Meet, baka gumagamit tayo ng Zoom. So for example, if we install Zoom here in our Chrome browser, so for example, I click install. So napakadali lang po mag-install ng add-ons. If first time po natin mag-i-install, you just have to click or choose your preferred email address para po sa chosen extension ninyo. So habang naglo-load lang siya, usually niyan, yung bawat application or icon ng bagong extension na dinownload niyo, it should appear here in the right panel. So, habang dumadami po yung dina-download ninyo, hahaba din po yung mga icons na nag-a-appear sa right panel. So, minsan, hindi lang natin siya napapansin or, yun nga, dahil hindi tayo sanay na meron tayong mga bagong tools. So, for example, it's already installed. Now, you can see here, meron tayong Zoom. So, if you open Zoom for G Suite or now Google Workspace, when you sign in to your Zoom account, definitely kung ni-utilize din natin yung Zoom, log in nyo na lang and then you can directly sign in or access the meeting room within the Google Calendar. The other one naman, for example, I schedule an event. More options. Now, if you can see here, ang normal dito na nakikita natin is the Google Meet, to allow Google Meet. Now, the other one, dahil in-install na natin si Zoom, meron na tayong make it a Zoom meeting. So, either Google Meet or Zoom, pwede po with our Google Calendar. So, that's one trick na pwede nyong gamitin. Now, you can explore other tools here in the right panel. So marami po dito actually. If you are in a corporate world, mas marami po dito na, for example, CRM in Gmail, maraming mga tools na specific lang or exclusive for corporate accounts that you might want to put or jive with your Google Calendar. So marami po dito. The other one naman that I can recommend for teachers, sa mga guro po na nanonood ngayon, is the attendance taker for classroom. So, dapat po dito meron na kayong Google Classroom, no, na mga existing classrooms. For example, i-download natin. So, install lang natin. Continue. Make sure to click your preferred email address to activate or use this add-on. At dahil dinownload ko na siya kanina sa isa kong account, I will transfer to the other calendar, may other calendar. So assuming it's already here, kita po ninyo, meron na tayo nung icon na attendance taker. Pasensya na, medyo maliit sa ating screen now. But if I click this one, it will open a side panel wherein what you can do here is to schedule a meeting, share resources, manage events, or attendance report. But pag kinlik natin ito, i-detect niya mismo yung existing Google Classrooms niyo. So this could be very easy for you. So for example, class name. Right now, I just created a Google Classroom called Demo. So isa lang siya. So assuming lang gawa pa tayo ng isa pang classroom para makita po ninyo yung pagka-seamless niya. So for example, create class. Kung makikita nyo, this is already Google Classroom. Let's say, Friday night, TGIF webinars. Create. So once po na makreate ito, when we go back to our calendar, reload lang po natin. We try to make sure that this is successfully created. Ayan. So meron tayong calendar ng TGIF webinars. So going back here, one more. Refresh. what we should see here, for example, kung ano po yung ginawa nyong ginawa nyong Google Classroom. For example, Ena, so we can see here the class name, TGIF Webinars. You can be specific here kung ano pong gusto nyong gawin. What you can see, what you can put here is the title, the date for today, for example. Would you want all your students in the class to be able to what you call this na mahagip nitong attendance taker ninyo? Would you want to add description? And then you just click share, no? So this is one tool for teachers that you can use just to monitor your sessions. So if you have synchronous sessions with your students, you can use this through your Google Calendar. So this is attendance taker. Um, and then the other tools, no, I will leave the rest of the tools for you to explore, no. So madami dito, especially for those who are in the corporate world. Maraming tools. So meron Box for Google, meron Microsoft Teams. So kung ang company ninyo or maybe yung school ninyo or for DepEd schools, kung may Microsoft Teams kayo, pwede nyo ring i-integrate sa inyong Google Calendar. So, seamless din po ito. Same process just like with Zoom. Ayan. And the other tools I showed you a while ago. Now, what else can I show with Google Calendar? The other one is, for example, you want to create private calendar events or let's say just for yourself. What you can do, for example, I want to set let's say on Sunday, June 6, let's say morning walk. So what you can do here, for example, for more options, for full settings, yun po yung ginagawa ko, no? I always click more options for full settings. Now, make sure that for the visibility, you make it free instead of busy. And then, for the visibility, you make it private. Para kayo lang po yung makakakita. Ano pong purpose ito? Di ba meron tayong find a calendar or paki-correct po kung mali yung term ko, pero if you belong in a certain domain or organization, other colleagues can just quickly check your calendar. So, yun yung mga, kung meron kayong mga existing meetings, kung meron kayong existing schedules or upcoming schedule with your, let's say, parents or students, makikita nila yon. So that ang use nun ay para to avoid conflicts, no? Pero if you have like personal whereabouts or gusto nyo sa inyo lang, make sure that that event be on private. Ayan. So once you click save, this morning walk is visible on you just for you to be reminded, but the other one, it will only be visible for you. Hindi siya masasearch ng mga colleagues niyo if you belong to a specific company or school or organization. Now, the other one is, andyan pa po ba kayo? Kapit lang. There's one more. For example, your morning walk na event. For example, you want to put it or you want to be reminded via email address. So what you have to do is to add notification, and then instead of notification, you go to email or you choose email. Now, let's say you want to be notified, let's say a day before. Yan, for example, a day before, siguro 9 p.m. or let's say 8 p.m. Okay. Once you click save, now how will you let's say make sure na ito ay mapupunta sa inyong email, no? One trick is that you put it or make it as you filter it in your Gmail para mano-notify kayo as an important, let's say, an important event. So I will go to Gmail. I hope you're still there. Okay pa po ba kayo? Maraming salamat po sa mga nanonood, and if you have questions, you can just type in your questions sa ating chat section. Now, for example, I will create, let's say, a label. Let's say, create po tayo ng label na ang tawag ay personal. Create. Okay, so ang gusto natin mangyari dito ay papasok sa ating personal email itong kinalendar natin para maalala natin. Because sometimes nalilimutan natin yung mga kinakalendar natin. So what we do here is we go to the search section, the drop button here, and then we create a filter. Now, pakitandaan lang po ito, if we want to connect our calendar events to Gmail for filters, so we type in calendar. Meron akong cheat. So, okay, calendar dash notification. Kasi 'di ba pinili natin sa ating calendar, saan na ba 'yun? Pinili natin dito sa calendar na to na makakatanggap tayo ng notification. Ito po, oh. So here, going back to Gmail, we should type in calendar-notification at google.com. And then what we should do here is, ano yung words na meron dito? So, ang ginamit natin kasi kanina na event is morning walk. So, medyo hindi common yung words na ginamit ko. But let's say morning would be something that is our, let's say, keyword for all the things personal for us. So I will just put here has the words morning. And then create filter. Now, anong gusto nating filter dito? So apply the label to personal. So create filter. So, ibig sabihin, kapag gumana na yung notification natin sa ating calendar na sinet, going back here, sinet natin email 1 day before. So, 8 o'clock p.m., we will be notified in our email here with the label, yung ginawa natin na label na morning. So, that's how you do it, how you connect it with Gmail so that you would be constantly reminded of your whereabouts, especially yung mga personal activities natin that you want to digitize or put in your daily calendar, such as your Google Calendar. Ano pa ba? Did I miss anything? One more. Ang dami ko sinabi. Sorry. One more. If you want to receive your daily agenda or yung pang-araw-araw ninyo, so what you should set or what you should do, again, may times na hindi natin nakikita yung ating calendar. Hindi natin minsan nakikita ano bang mga nakaplano ko for tomorrow. So, meron ding way. So, in our Google Calendar, we go to the settings. I hope I could find it easily. So, under, I'll just scroll down. Agenda. It's sa agenda po yun eh. Sandali lang. Okay. Para makatanggap po tayo ng ating daily agenda, we have to toggle it. Sandali lang. Ganun po talaga pagpatapos na, no, nasusubukan pa ang ating skills. So I will go to my personal account. Okay. So going to the settings, ayan. So for example, ito na po. So for example, meron kayong calendar na ginawa. For example, your personal calendar, you click that, and then here you just scroll down and you make sure you receive a daily agenda. Ito po ay default natin ay none. So, ang ibig sabihin po nito, kapag tinurn on ninyo yung email ninyo, you will receive a daily email with the agenda for this calendar. So, kung anong meron nyo for today, you will receive that, for example, early in the morning. So, turn on nyo lang po ito. Medyo nalito ako kanina, pasensya na. What you have to do is to go to the gear button. Ulitin ko lang po. For the others, you have to go to the gear button, go to settings, and then you choose your calendar. So kung organized yung inyong mga calendars, let's say you want your calendar, ang dami kong nagawang calendar before for my demos. So for example, emus, ayan, yung emus. Scroll down nyo lang and then you should find there daily agenda. Makikita nyo it's off, karamihan it's nakalagay none. So you just turn um, um, enable nyo lang po yung email para kung active calendar siya, you should be receiving in your email the daily events or happening na mangyayari for that araw or day. So, yun ang aking demos lamang, aking portion. So, I hope you learned. May natutunan ba kayo? Or, yun.
Yes, sir. Marami din.
Tama, sir.
Ang daming
Madami
natutunan.
ba? Madami.
Oo,
Grabe,
sir.
ang productivity tool, grabe talaga yung ino-offer ni Google Calendars. Hindi lang siya for scheduling of events really and for looking dates and holidays. It's really beyond that. And we hope that our viewers, especially our teachers and other professionals, can really use Google Calendars and Google Calendar and utilize this in their field of work.
Exactly. Oo.
Ayun.
I will definitely use Google Calendar more kasi I just use this to schedule for yung meetings, no? Tsaka yung let's say yung meet links for my student. Pero ngayon talaga I'll make it a point to use Google Calendar more and use the tips and tricks that I've learned from you guys. So thank you very much.
Sir
Yeah,
Kirby, kayo po.
Ako naman po, I think I can consider this as a blessing for people na sobrang organized, yung very particular, not only with their schedules, but for all the happenings and as well as the details, knowing that it can be integrated to other Google applications. So for example, I have my device, sa bahay lang ako gumagamit ng aking computer. Even if I only bring my smartphone with me, I can be aware of not only my to-do list, but something that will happen in the future. So, it's more than just a calendar, it's more than just a reminder, but it is a tool that will allow me to maximize all the things that I need to do and all the things that I need. Yan po. Maraming salamat po sa mga sinare po ninyo.
Thank you, Sir Kirby. Ako naman, tulad ng sinabi ko kanina, nung simula, no, Google Calendar is one of the most neglected tool that I can say in the Google Workspace tools. Pero kung makita ninyo, ang dami nating na-showcase, ang dami nating pwedeng gawin to further customize our settings and make ourselves more productive. Sa totoo lang, we can discuss more about Google Calendar, no? Pero we only have, actually, medyo nag-overtime na tayo, but I would like to thank everybody who, again, stayed with us and decided to end their Friday night with another learning session. So that would be our Google Calendar session. Next week po, next week, because it's every other Fridays that we conduct these kind of webinars. Kung nag-enjoy po kayo dito or nag-enjoy kayo 2 weeks ago, Next week, we will be showcasing Google Classroom. So, tips and tricks. So, kung alam nyo na or ginagamit nyo na si Google Classroom, guess what? Baka may hindi pa kayo na gagawa. No? Na abangan po ninyo next week ang Google Classroom. So, before we end this, I would just like to plug, no? Short plug lang po tayo. I will just present my screen once again. Next time po na sponsors na yung nakalagay dito. Thank you po. But kidding aside, if you are interested or if you want to bring us to your schools, ayaw po mag-next, we have different training services that we can offer. So we have the following services: basic Google Workspace training for teachers and non-teaching staff, or for administrators. We have distance learning strategy. So this is a mix tools from Google Workspace to other powerful third-party applications. And then we have distance learning strategies 2.0. So this is an advanced training for teachers na gusto pang mag-explore or gusto pang matuto ng iba't iba pang tools to introduce gamification or other variations in teaching and increasing what they call this engagement, student engagement. Distance learning strategies 2.0 po. Then we have Google Certified Educator Level 1 training, Level 2. We also have Google Workspace Admin Console training and creating video lectures for asynchronous teaching. So, yun po yung aming mga services, and if you are interested, you can just email us. We will flash our email later. Ayan, so ito po. So, you can contact us at lookbeyond.ph@gmail.com if you want to bring us to your schools. And the other one also, nalimutan ko bagnitin, we also have repair and maintenance services for your laptops and computers. That's exclusively for Parañaque, Las Piñas, Muntinlupa, and Pasay po. So, ayan. Thank you very much dito sa ating pa-plug. Now, sige, Sir Alvin.
Yes, sir. For sure, marami nang magkukontak sa atin yan later on. Lalo na malapit. Yung ibang mga private schools, they're already on their break, and yung public schools malapit na ding mag-break. So for sure, if you would like us to be part of your trainings for your in-service trainings, you may contact us through the details provided by Sir Adrian.
Thank you very much, thank you, Sir Alvin. Gusto ko din magpasalamat bago natin i-end to. We'd like to thank everybody who participated, who watched this session. Kung na-miss nyo yung iba, pwede nyo pa rin panoorin sa Look Beyond the Classroom YouTube channel, and also available on Facebook page. It's Look Beyond. And what else? Thank you po sa lahat ng mga friends, co-teachers, colleagues na nag-message dito. And for the others, maraming salamat po. Sana hindi kayo magsawa. And I will use these words again with that. We'd like to thank everybody and happy weekend po. Good night and enjoy your weekend. Maraming salamat po.
Happy
See you again
weekend.
Thanks,
Friday.
everyone.
Thank you
Happy
for
Friday,
watching.
happy
See
weekend.
you next week.
See ya.